24 million bucks found stashed in an attic.
Imagine all this money packed in vacuum-sealed bags.
It's nothing like riding on the Air Mayweather, big boy private jet. And do best. That's 700,000. That's 700,000. That's 700,000 right there. And with this, we make it's 300,000. That's $1 million.
$330 million in cold, hard cash. That's the jaw-dropping figure allegedly found stashed inside one of Floyd Mayweather's Miami mansions, according to a recent viral story that sent shockwaves through both the boxing world and financial circles. But what's real? What's rumor? And how did the undefeated champ, famous for flaunting his wealth and flipping the IRS the metaphorical bird, find himself in the middle of a swirling storm of tax troubles, legal drama, and social media spectacle? Let's break down everything we know so far and what this could mean for the money man's empire. The internet erupted when sensational reports emerged claiming that federal authorities had raided Floyd Mayweather's Miami mansion and discovered an eye-popping $330 million in cash. The claim quickly gained traction across social media platforms and was repeated in various online outlets, creating a storm of speculation and disbelief. According to these viral stories, many of which cited CNN or vaguely referenced unnamed federal sources, agents stumbled upon the fortune hidden in a secret, heavily secured room during a surprise investigation of Mayweather's properties. The room in question was allegedly concealed behind layers of reinforced security measures, including biometric locks and multiple safes. As the story goes, when the FBI executed the warrant, even Mayweather's own staff denied knowledge of how to access the hidden chamber. After hours of forced entry and investigation, authorities reportedly uncovered orange Home Depot buckets, each containing stacks of cash, supposedly $150,000 per bucket, neatly packed in denominations of $100 bills and $20 bills. While the sheer scale of the alleged find captivated the public's imagination, it's important to stress that no official confirmation has been provided by the FBI or CNN. The claim of $330 million in liquid cash remains unverified, and Mayweather himself has neither confirmed nor publicly responded to the accusations. Despite the lack of concrete evidence, the story has gained virality, fueled by Mayweather's long-standing persona as a man who flaunts vast amounts of cash on social media, regularly posting videos and photos of money-line tables, private jets, and luxury possessions. Whether true or not, the spectacle of the reported raid has once again drawn attention to the intersection of wealth, celebrity, and accountability, particularly when it involves a figure as unapologetically ostentatious as Floyd "Money" Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather's relationship with the Internal Revenue Service has been a recurring subplot in his post-fighting career, while his professional legacy inside the ring is undisputed, undefeated with a record of 50-0. His tax history outside the ring has been far more complicated. The federal government has filed multiple tax liens against him over the years, some amounting to tens of millions of dollars, revealing a pattern of delayed or disputed payments. One of the most publicized episodes occurred in 2017, just months before his highly lucrative bout with UFC star Conor McGregor. At the time, Mayweather filed a petition with the U.S. tax court asking for a postponement of his tax obligations from 2015, which reportedly exceeded $22 million. In that petition, Mayweather's legal team argued that although he owed a substantial amount, his assets were largely illiquid, and he needed to wait until he received payment from the McGregor fight in order to satisfy the debt. This maneuver, while not illegal, raised eyebrows among financial experts and the media, especially considering Mayweather's public display of wealth. He had frequently appeared on social media brandishing multi-million-dollar watches, rows of exotic cars, and rooms full of cash. In interviews, he boasted of having a $100 million check that he hadn't even cashed yet, making the claim of illiquidity difficult for many to reconcile. Mayweather's strategy, according to his advisors, was simple: delay payment, invest the capital, and earn returns greater than IRS penalties or interest. Floyd's a savvy investor. His attorney was quoted as saying, "If he can make more money by using that capital in the market than he loses in IRS interest, it's a net gain." However, this deferment strategy has inherent risks. The IRS has the power to freeze assets, place liens, and even seize property if they believe a taxpayer is intentionally avoiding payment. While Mayweather's camp managed to avoid the harshest penalties in 2017, the mounting tax issues and rumors of falsified financial documents have continued to place him under scrutiny. If the latest reports of a federal raid and the $330 million in undeclared cash are ever substantiated, it could indicate a pattern of financial concealment that the IRS and other federal agencies take seriously, especially if it involves tax evasion, money laundering, or other white-collar crimes. For now, however, the story remains a mix of confirmed history and sensationalized speculation. For over a decade, Floyd Mayweather has carefully cultivated a persona that blurs the line between bravado and branding. Self-styled as Money Mayweather, he has made the flaunting of extreme wealth his calling card, almost as essential to his identity as his undefeated record in the ring. His social media feeds are a curated museum of luxury excess. Private jets lined up on the tarmac, designer watches glittering under LED spotlights, duffel bags overflowing with $100 bills, and exotic sports cars parked in rows like a dealership for the super rich. On Instagram, Mayweather has posted videos literally sweeping piles of cash across polished marble floors. In one infamous clip, he lounges in front of a table stacked so high with cash, it looks like a fortress. Another post shows him holding a check reportedly worth $100 million, still uncashed, with the caption, "Smart investments, fast payments." Mayweather has openly boasted about his financial acumen, repeatedly asserting that he is not just rich from boxing, but savvy with his money. "I'm not just a fighter," he once said in an interview. "I'm a businessman. I invest. Real estate, tech, fashion, you name it." In that same interview, when pressed about his frequent tax issues, he responded coolly, "I pay my taxes. I just do it on my time." This statement encapsulates the tension at the heart of Mayweather's dual identity. Is he a brilliant capitalist, leveraging wealth and timing to maximize gain? Or a reckless high roller who believes his fame makes him untouchable? Critics argue that his public displays of cash and disregard for tax deadlines could be interpreted as taunting federal agencies, if not the law itself. Financial analysts have noted that no legitimate financial advisor would ever recommend holding hundreds of millions in cash outside of a bank due to security, inflation loss, and potential legal scrutiny. If true, the reported $330 million stash would suggest not just poor financial planning, but possible deliberate concealment. Supporters, however, see him as a genius at turning attention into income. They argue that Mayweather's over-the-top image is just that, an image. The money he flaunts is part of a broader marketing machine that fuels his brand, garners headlines, and keeps him relevant in the post-boxing world. They point out that despite the IRS liens, he has never been criminally charged for tax evasion and always settles his debts eventually. The truth likely lies somewhere between both extremes. Mayweather is clearly a shrewd operator, but one whose high-risk public persona may be starting to invite higher-stakes consequences. As the rumors of the federal raid spread online, social media exploded with commentary from fans, critics, and casual observers alike. The responses ranged from tongue-in-cheek disbelief to genuine shock, and in true internet fashion, many took the opportunity to mix humor with sharp criticism. On X, formerly Twitter, one user posted, "Looks like the king of cash might have left the vault door open, and the feds walked right in." Another wrote, "Floyd kept $330 million in buckets? This man turned his mansion into a bank without FDIC insurance." Some fans expressed awe rather than scorn. Whether it's true or not, Can you imagine having so much money you forget about $330 million? Others were more critical of Mayweather's decisions. This is what happens when flexing becomes a full-time job. Sooner or later, the IRS wants front-row seats. There were also those who questioned the legitimacy of the entire story. Something feels off. The FBI just happens to find $330 million in cash, and no one says a word officially? Smells like clickbait or a setup. Many memes emerged almost instantly. One viral image showed a screenshot of Mayweather smiling in a robe overlaid with the caption, "When you told the IRS you were broke, but forgot about the room behind the closet." While the tone was often lighthearted, the underlying message was clear. The public is fascinated but also skeptical. The scale of wealth Mayweather claims to possess, combined with his history of delayed tax payments, makes him a compelling target for both admiration and criticism. In short, this isn't just a story about an alleged FBI raid or hidden millions. It's a cultural flashpoint about wealth, celebrity, accountability, and how far the image of invincibility can stretch before reality catches up. As rumors swirl around Floyd Mayweather and the alleged federal raid on his Miami mansion, it's essential to distinguish between sensational headlines and legal reality. As of now, based on public records and verified reporting, Mayweather has not been formally charged with any crime, nor has there been official confirmation of an FBI raid or arrest. The story appears to have originated from unverified online chatter, later picked up by various social media accounts and speculative tabloid coverage. Some reports referenced federal activity or confiscated assets, but none of these claims have been backed by court filings or statements from law enforcement agencies. CNN has not published a direct report confirming a raid or seizure, though social media users have loosely cited their name in retweets and TikTok commentary, adding to the confusion. Until a reputable fact-check news outlet confirms these details, we are in the realm of speculation, not evidence. That said, understanding what would need to happen for such a raid to occur helps place the rumors in perspective. In the United States, federal raids on private residences are not executed on a whim. They typically require probable cause backed by sworn affidavits, a search warrant issued by a federal judge, a pending criminal investigation, often involving financial misconduct, tax evasion, or money laundering, and in extreme cases, the presence of unreported or untraceable cash can be used as a trigger for asset forfeiture proceedings. Even if a high-profile individual like Mayweather were under investigation, the process would be tightly controlled and legally documented. A cash seizure in the amount of $330 million, if real, would involve a paper trail, press interest, and most likely, an official statement from the Department of Justice or IRS Criminal Investigation Division. To date, none of these things have occurred. Legal experts note that Mayweather's previous tax issues were civil, not criminal. His well-documented 2017 dispute with the IRS over unpaid taxes was settled after his McGregor payday. And while the situation did reveal his cash flow management preferences, it didn't rise to the level of fraud or evasion. In short, while it's not impossible for federal authorities to investigate Mayweather, especially if there are grounds to believe he's hiding assets or underreporting income, there is currently no public evidence of a raid, arrest, or legal filing implicating him in wrongdoing. Until that changes, any suggestion otherwise remains speculative fiction dressed in tabloid drama. Regardless of the truth behind the current rumors, there's no denying that Floyd Mayweather remains one of the most financially fascinating figures in modern sports. Even in retirement from professional boxing, he continues to rake in millions through exhibition fights, licensing deals, and business ventures. Over the past few years, Mayweather has capitalized on his global brand by engaging in high-profile exhibition matches, low-risk bouts that generate enormous revenue through pay-per-view and international sponsorships. These include events in Dubai, the UK, and Japan, where his name still draws sold-out arenas despite the non-competitive nature of the fights. One of the more persistent whispers involves a potential rematch with Manny Pacquiao in Japan, not as a sanctioned professional fight, but as another blockbuster exhibition. While nothing has been formally confirmed, the rumor has traction thanks to both fighters' recent appearances at Japanese press events and their mutual ties to Rizin Fighting Federation, a combat sports promotion known for staging celebrity-driven spectacles. Beyond the ring, Mayweather has expanded his empire into various industries. Mayweather Promotions, a successful boxing promotion company. The Money Team TMT brand, selling apparel, accessories, and lifestyle merchandise. Real estate holdings, including luxury properties in Miami, Las Vegas, and Los Angeles. And cryptocurrency endorsements, although his ventures in that space have met with mixed results. What all this illustrates is a larger, more nuanced question. Does extreme wealth act as a shield or a spotlight? For someone like Mayweather, who thrives in the public eye and turns every move into marketing, wealth seems like a suit of armor. It fuels his influence, sustains his lifestyle, and deters most challengers, legal or otherwise. But the more visible his fortune becomes, the more it draws scrutiny. Government agencies, financial watchdogs, and the public alike begin to ask, how much of this is real? How much is legal? And is it all sustainable? In Mayweather's case, the sheer visibility of his wealth may not protect him. It may make him more vulnerable. In an era where tax enforcement is tightening and celebrity finances are under a microscope, even a legend with hundreds of millions may find that the image of untouchable success can crack under pressure. In the end, regardless of what's true, rumored, or totally fabricated, one fact remains clear. Floyd "Money" Mayweather is still one of the wealthiest athletes in history. With career earnings estimated well north of $1 billion, he has transcended the world of boxing to become a global brand, synonymous with luxury, excess, and unapologetic swagger. From his iconic undefeated record to his private jets lined with cash and diamond-studded watches, Mayweather has made a living not just from punching in the ring, but from performing the idea of wealth itself. He knows how to turn controversy into headlines, and headlines into revenue. In many ways, he's mastered the game most people don't even know they're playing. But here's the twist. Not even billionaires are immune to the reach of Uncle Sam. The IRS doesn't blink at a celebrity name or a designer wardrobe. If there is truth behind the talk of hidden millions or undeclared assets, then Mayweather could find himself in deeper waters than an exhibition fight can bail him out of. So far, there's no formal accusation. No raid has been publicly confirmed. No charges have been filed. But the speculation speaks to a larger cultural truth. In an era of viral scandal and financial anxiety, people are more intrigued than ever by the rise and potential fall of the ultra-rich. It's not just about whether Mayweather owes back taxes. It's about whether anyone can truly live a life that loud, that lavish, and that legally clean. And as for what happens next, if charges are ever filed or a federal investigation comes to light, you can bet we'll be the first to break it down. Fact from fiction. This story, whether real or imagined, has tapped into something bigger. Our fascination with money, fame, and the fine line between being above the law and directly in its crosshairs. Is this just another case of online hype and celebrity envy? Or are we watching the first cracks form in the empire of Money Mayweather? Drop your take in the comments below. Think this story is over? Think again. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like this video to support the channel. Subscribe to Boxing is Here for the latest updates, fight breakdowns, and expert analysis. And turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. Until next time, peace out.